Hey guys, Andy here with VSiN. Just one game on Wednesday, the Colorado Avalanche and the Dallas Stars. The Avalanche got the big 4-1 victory. They evened up the series at 3 games apiece, forcing a Game 7, our first Game 7 of the 2020 playoffs. Of course, we had that Game 5 back in the qualifying round between the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Toronto Maple Leafs. But this is a Game 7. This is real playoff hockey between two bona fide playoff teams. So very excited for Game 7. I had the over 6 goals in this game. Did not work out for me. I also had Nathan MacKinnon over 4.5 shots on goal. That one didn't get there either, despite MacKinnon doing his best to try and get me there. It didn't work out. But heading into Thursday's games, of course, we got the Philadelphia Flyers and the New York Islanders and the Vegas Golden Knights and Vancouver Canucks. But I want to talk a little bit about potential elimination games, because last week into this week, the narrative was that teams wanted to get out of this bubble. And don't get me wrong, I definitely think that players are antsy and would like to get home as soon as possible. But I think that's something we saw in earlier rounds when a couple of teams clearly did not want to be in this bubble anymore. Not something we're going to be seeing heading forward, and I think recent signs tell us that that's the case. The Canucks, the Avalanche, the Flyers, they've all fought to stave off elimination, and I would expect any of the teams in the 2020 playoffs to continue to do so going forward. These teams have all been here for an extended period of time. I imagine that they are all very committed to continuing their mission, so to speak, and I wouldn't worry whatsoever about getting that extra vigor like we've seen from teams like the Avalanche, the Flyers, and even the Canucks in round 2. And of course, we have 2 elimination games tonight, potential elimination games. Starting things off, the Philadelphia Flyers and the New York Islanders. The Islanders hold a 3-2 series lead. The Philadelphia Flyers got the big win in Game 5 in overtime. But the big story here is whether or not Sean Couturier will suit up for the Flyers. Obviously, Couturier is a very important player. He's a Selke candidate, one of the best defensive forwards, but also a very capable offensive threat as well, and he will be missed. He generates a ton of offense for this Flyers team that has had a hard time scoring goals and generating chances, and if he is not in the lineup, I guarantee that you will see a big shift in the odds towards the New York Islanders. I expect we'd see something in the range of 10 cents in favor of the Islanders. So if the Islanders are sitting at minus 115, you could easily see that line move to minus 125 or minus 130 with the news that Couturier won't be suiting up. On the other side of things, we'll have to monitor whether or not Matt Barzal suits up for the Islanders. That could be a significant move in and of itself, but it looks like things are heading in the right direction as far as Barzal being ready to go for Game 6 on Thursday. So no play for me. However, there could be a situation where I jump into this game, jump into this market based on news right before game time. And of course, we've got another potential elimination game. The Vancouver Canucks are going to try to stave off elimination one more time and force a Game 7. They're down 3-2 in their series versus the Vegas Golden Knights. A lot of people are probably shaking their heads and wondering how this is even possible. This Vancouver Canucks team really just fighting tooth and nail to stay in it. They got a big performance from their backup goaltender Thatcher Demko in game number 5. It's still unknown whether or not Jacob Markstrom will be ready to go for Game 6. If he can't go, it's a big downgrade here. Despite the fact that Thatcher Demko played great in Game 5, Markstrom is an elite goaltender, or just about an elite goaltender in this league, and his loss definitely hurts the team's chances of winning a given game, especially against this Vegas Golden Knights team. So where I thought these games should be priced closer to minus 155, minus 160 in favor of the Vegas Golden Knights prior to Markstrom's injury, now with Demko in net, we're seeing prices of plus 210, and that's closer to where I think it should be, because I've got this now priced at around minus 185 in favor of the Vegas Golden Knights. So at prices of plus 200, plus 205, and north of that, I can definitely get behind backing the Canucks, regardless of who is in goal. I definitely anticipate losing this one. It's a game that you're going to lose more often than you're going to win. But hey, so far throughout this series, I've backed the Canucks in every single game. I've got a 2-3 record. It'd be nice to pull out one more win here and force a Game 7 and see where this series can go. But it isn't likely. The Vegas Golden Knights have been consistently the better team by a wide margin. The Canucks have had to really clamp things down and try to keep things to the outside, but it's going to be really tough to do that for another 60-minute stretch in game number 6. This Vegas Golden Knights team really overwhelms their opponents, and the Vancouver Canucks don't have a lot of weapons to combat that with. However, I do like the total here once again to go over 6 goals. Did not go that way in game number 5 due to the performance of Thatcher Demko, but the chances of seeing a performance like that against this Vegas Golden Knights team again are pretty slim. So it's something that I would probably rather monitor here heading into Thursday night's game, and let's see who plays in goal for the Vancouver Canucks. But right now it's Canucks at plus 200 or better, let's say, and over 6 goals. But the latter, I'll wait and see who plays in goal for the Vancouver Canucks and the Vegas Golden Knights for that matter. We don't know for sure if Robin Lehner will get the start, although it does seem likely. Pete DeBoer could pull one out of nowhere and go with Marc-Andre Fleury. If it's Demko and Fleury, the over 6 at minus 110 or better would be a steal, in my opinion. If it's Lehner and Demko, still a decent play. And even if it's a Markstrom, I still like this game to trend toward the over. However, Canucks at plus 200 is my only play, my only recommendation at this point, and that's regardless of whether or not Markstrom or Demko gets the start. So good luck, enjoy all the hockey action, and gamble responsibly.